Before getting into today's episode, we'd like to thank Mac Performance PT for sponsoring the Walk On Pod. For more on their services and contact information, click the link in our Instagram bio where you will be led to their website. Mac Performance PT, helping Sacramento athletes live life without limits. Thank you for tuning back into the Walk On Pod. Really excited for this episode today. We got the tight end for the Green Bay Packers, Josiah Deguara, here with us today. It's been hectic trying to get him on here for a lot of reasons. Like he said before we started, everyone's got life, but we wanted to thank you for being here. We're definitely amped to have you here with us.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all boys.
Yeah, thanks, Joe.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, so I'm sure he'll get into it a little bit. If not, I know Jared will as well. But he made his name out here in Folsom, so that's kind of where the ties began. But we're gonna give the floor to you, Josiah. Let you rock, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to give like my whole life story, but pretty much like you said, from Folsom, California. Went to Folsom High School, played football and basketball. That's how I know all these guys from playing basketball. And then took football and just ran with it. Didn't have a lot of offers throughout high school, but ended up getting blessed like last minute of signing day, before signing day, a couple weeks before signing day, getting offered by the University of Cincinnati. So headed out to the Midwest. And after 3 years of not playing too much, ended up being able to have a pretty good junior and senior season. And then I was able to get drafted third round by the Green Bay Packers. So I've lived in California my whole life. And for the last 8 years now, dang, it's been 8 years. For the last 8 years now, I've been in the Midwest, Ohio and Wisconsin. So I'm pretty much a Midwest guy now. But going into my fourth season with the Green Bay Packers, and just blessed to be in my spot, my situation. And obviously there's a lot of stories within that big summary, but that's pretty much me when it comes to athletics.
Yeah, that was a very brief. Why does that always happen? We
always talk about it.
We always have humble people, that's how it is. Joe, we appreciate you. For people that don't know, Josiah was one of the best players on Folsom High School's football team. That I think was your team the first team to win state, Joe? Or did you guys kind of start it? Second team, right? Gano was first, and then you guys were second, right?
Yeah, that's what's hard with like giving the full story. It's like you don't know what to emphasize. You know what I'm saying?
Right. We're just I'm giving you a hard time, but
no, yeah, it's 100% true. But high school wise, yeah, we were the second to win state in 2014, and that was the team with Browning, Jonah Williams, 7 other dudes that went on to play D1 college football, which is a pretty cool thing. But it was a special squad.
Well, and then you were all part of another special squad. The other thing that people probably don't know about Joe is like you were on the best high school basketball team Folsom's ever had that went to state and came real close to winning state championship, and you were an integral part of that squad too. So for people that don't know, Joe was nice at hoop too. Joe was really out there.
Once upon a time.
Yeah,
Once upon a time.
We talked to Shine a couple weeks ago about shoulders. Joe had the shoulders. Yes, nice buff shoulder into the righty and one.
Dumbbell press.
Yeah.
Sure.
But yeah, no, your story is really cool, Joe. The other question, kind of just we're on this note. You didn't play tight end in high school, right? You played receiver more. And then it was, I don't know football well, so you got to help me. H-back at Cincy, right?
Yeah, so like pretty much I played receiver all the way up until my senior year in high school. And then like I kind of transitioned into playing a little bit of tight end because my coaches like Troy Taylor and Chris Richardson, who are like, Coach Taylor's at Stanford now, and then Richardson's at Sac State. So like college level coaches, they knew I was going to have to play tight end going into college. I'm kind of a tweener. And so I played a little bit more tight end going into my senior year, but it was mostly receiver. But yeah, like we were super successful as we were talking about, and then I was, I mean, Browning either has the national record or is second for like most touchdowns in a high school career. It's like a crazy number, like
Insane.
yeah, it's like 240 something. He threw 90 something our senior year, and I caught
That dude
like
was unstoppable.
Yeah, he was different. So I caught like 40 something of those touchdowns and had like 2,000 plus yards in high school and all these different like 100
Yeah.
yards catching every single year, or 100 receptions every single year, my junior, senior, sophomore year. But the offers just weren't coming. Like I didn't get any offers. I got a 50% from UC Davis. I thought UC Davis was about to offer me, and the dude was like, "Yeah, we've really talked it over with our coaching staff, and we're gonna offer you a half scholarship." And I'm like, "What does that even mean? Like 50% scholarship? So pretty much we pay for half of everything, and then you pay the rest." I'm like, "All right, whatever." And I'm with Browning and Jonah, who's getting like every offer in the nation, like Boise, Bama, like all these schools are coming in offering these guys, and I'm just like trying to get UC Davis to give me a full ride. But then I ended up having a family friend who knew the O-line coach at Cincinnati, and ended up they needed a tight end and offered me, and then UC Davis tried to offer me full, and I'm like, nah, dude,
no,
I'm going to Ohio. But yeah, it was a crazy like recruiting process, but obviously all worked out for the better, and God had a purpose through it all.
What do you think was the one thing that kind of kept you diligent and kept you disciplined, like through all that? As like you're saying, you're next to, like, you're putting up the same kind of numbers that Jake and Jonah, and like you're part of all that success, but not getting the accolades that you feel like you deserve. Like what kept you going, and what kept you like motivated to get to where you knew you could be?
Yeah, I just think it was the love of the game, honestly. Like I love football. I knew it was going to be a big part of my life. Obviously, it was my dream to play in the NFL. I never knew I would attain it at that point in time. But just the love of the game, wanting the desire to want to play at the next level, just kept me pushing, and having the people that surrounded me, like all my teammates. I talk about those two guys. Cole Thompson was another big one who pushed me a lot. Parker Boone, all these different guys
Oh man, Parker.
that pushed me.
Yeah.
Yeah, to go.
Shout out Parker, man.
Yeah,
That
he'd be
guy.
nasty.
Yeah.
But no, those guys helped push me, and we were able to do a lot of cool stuff in high school, but just surround yourself with the right people, and it just comes down to loving it and just grinding always, and ends up working out in your favor usually when you put the work in.
Yeah, totally. And you think that that's what you said, you didn't play a ton when you first got to Cincy and stuff like that, and you feel like that probably pushed you through those hard times as well.
Yeah, same exact thing. Like, and it's weird to look back on now, but and when I'm in the moment, I'm not like, man, I'm really not playing that much. But I tore my shoulder my redshirt freshman year, and then played special teams my freshman year, sophomore year, broke my hand, played like 6 games, and then having 2 more years left of college, I think just overcoming adversity and things like that kind of kept me on the right track. We had a coaching change, which helped me a lot in my position room. Same thing, surround yourself with the right people, all these things that went into it. But it just comes down to loving it. If you don't love it, I would have quit.
Yeah.
When I got hurt my freshman year, like we had our first play of training camp. Right, I'm going up against a 5th-year senior. Have never, like we said before, never blocked really. I only played receiver in high school. Like we're running inside zone, like 1-on-1 or half line, we call it. So it's like half of the offensive line versus the half of the defensive line. Just get push, pulled, thrown, like shoulder popped. So like if I didn't love it, so we were able to. Obviously, I was able to grind through that and get surgery and recover from it. But it's just adversity that we all face in life, and I faced it going into college, and then again going into the NFL. First year, rookie year, tore my ACL.
Yeah.
So being able to overcome adversity in college kind of set me up for that. It was a lot different and more, definitely more of a tough thing to overcome at the next level. But just the love and the people you surround yourself with, family, friends, supporting you, stuff like that is kind of what's always kept me grounded.
What do you think the biggest difference was going through that in that adversity? Like, what was the biggest thing you saw that was different between going through it as a freshman and going through it as a rookie?
Yeah, I think when I heard it my freshman year, I was just getting to college. I probably wasn't going to play a lot anyway. So it wasn't like a vital point in my career, if that makes sense. So then
Yeah.
going into my rookie year, like I was one of the first tight ends to start for Green Bay Packers within the last um 10 years, rookie tight end. And then had like a great first game. Going into the next game, just like ACL pops. And then it's during COVID. So no family, no friends like can come to see me. It's super lonely. Like you're in a state of depression. So that's
Mhm.
when I rely on my faith a lot during that moment. A lot of my family, friends, my now wife, um, helped me get through that a lot. But it was just a vital point of my career. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I really could have, and you never know what would have happened if I didn't get hurt. You can't live life like that. But I was like, man, I really think this is my moment, and then it just gets taken away in an instant. That's when you really got to rely on faith and the people that you surround yourself with, because a lot of times you don't have enough strength to get through it by yourself.
No, totally.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
Um, you kind of alluded to it a little bit. You said at the time when we were talking about from like the transition from high school to college, at the time you didn't know, like you said, it was a dream to play in the NFL, but you weren't 100% sure that you'd be able to get there. Was there a point in your career at Cincinnati that you were like, oh yeah, like this is something I can do. Like I really have what it takes to get to that level.
Yeah, like I said, it was definitely a dream growing up, but it was something way out there. But after my first few years of not playing and then going into my junior year, I finally won the starting spot. Then had a good first half of the season, and then you start seeing your name pop up in these different conversations. My coach was a great tight end coach, Mike Denbrock, who coached um, different dudes in the league, Tyler Eifert, guys like that. He coached a bunch, two or three tight ends that were currently in the league at the time. So he would fill me in on different things that NFL coaches were saying, NFL scouts. So that's when I kind of knew like, okay, this might be a thing. I wasn't even really. I was just trying to get on the field before that year. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't even worried about the NFL at all. I was just like, man, I'm not trying to waste my college career. So after that, probably like the first 5 or 6 games my junior year, and having a somewhat of a breakout season, is when I really thought it was attainable, and thought it could be something that could potentially come true. Still things had to line up in my favor, which they, thankfully did. But it was obviously a blessing to even be mentioned with the same name as the NFL, and still is.
Yeah, no, I mean, talk us through draft night, like getting your name called. What's the feeling? Like, I'm sure it's probably hard to talk about still, but like, what's that feeling like?
Yeah, it's just surreal because you have all the. It was during COVID, so not everybody was there that I would have loved to be there, but um, just all your hard work has paid off. Everything has um, come to that moment in your career, and to be able to say like you really made it, you really did it. Obviously, with the help of a lot of others, and super thankful and blessed God put me in the positions He did for me to be able to be where I am today. But just blessed to be in that situation. Obviously, something I'll never forget is that night, getting my name called, and it's surreal to even still say that and think about it.
Yeah,
Do
no,
they?
that's dope.
Oh, sorry, Luke.
No,
Do they? Do they? Do you know right before you get picked, or do you didn't know until your name got called on the TV? Like, how does it work in the NFL? Because usually, like in the NBA, like you get a call, your agent gets a call, like right before the pick's in, or when the pick is in before it gets announced. Like, was it? How'd
Yeah,
that go for you guys?
same thing. Like they call
Yeah.
you 2 or 3 picks before.
Yeah.
So when I got the call, I was just kind of fumbling like my phone. Like I wasn't nervously walking around. I was just like kind of doing stuff because I was honestly I wasn't expecting to get drafted till Saturday, because in the NFL it's Thursday Thursday's first round, second and third round is Friday, and then Saturday is 4 through 7. So everything that me and my agent were hearing were like 4, 5, 6, like probably. And then we were like prepared. I was prepared, obviously, and paying attention, but wasn't truly expecting it. So I was just fumbling my phone, and I didn't like check the caller ID where it was from or anything. And then so I like get the call, and like I look at it, and then the TV's on, and it's like I forget, it might have been Tennessee or something. But the Packers were like 2 down, and the person was talking was like, "Hey, we're gonna take you here soon," but they weren't saying like who it was. So like I still really didn't know. So I was like, "Am I going to Tennessee, like Patriots, whatever the names were on the board?" But then they ended up saying like Packers, and it was like 2-ish picks down. So it's probably in the NFL it's like there's so many, so it's every 5 minutes. I feel like the NBA is probably a little longer, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's how it works.
Oh, that's funny. Did you have an idea of which teams wanted you or liked you, or just like you weren't sure?
You have an idea throughout the process,
Yeah.
but some guys are like, yeah, I knew this team really liked me, and I talked to the Packers one time, so I had no idea.
Yeah.
So it's just,
That's
but
crazy how that works.
yeah, it is. But LaFleur, our head coach, knew Mike Denbrock. They coached together at Notre Dame, so it's like there's always like those kind of connections that I didn't
Yeah.
even know about at the time. So it always kind of works out that
Right.
way. But sometimes you're like, I only talked to him one time, and then they end up taking you. So it kind of depends.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
that's crazy. I want to ask you. So I don't know too much about Cincinnati football and like the fan base and all that, but I do know Ohio football in general is huge. Obviously, Ohio State has one of the craziest college football fan bases, and I know like Browns fans are some of the craziest fans in the NFL. Also, what was that experience like playing for Cincinnati?
Yeah, Cincinnati's awesome. We were trash my first 3 years, so it wasn't it wasn't great at that point. We went like 4-8, or we went 7-6, or 6-7, and then 4-8 my freshman and sophomore year. So when we got good, it was awesome. But when we were bad, it was like empty stadiums and stuff. So it's not like Ohio State where it's always packed no matter what. Like you have to
Right.
win to put fans in the seats. But we got great fans, man. The fans of Cincinnati are awesome. They just moved to the Big 12, so I know it's going to be bigger than it was when I was there when it comes to athletics and stuff like that. Hopefully, they can get back to being as successful as they were in basketball as well. Because it's really a basketball school. Like if you remember
Yeah.
Kenyon Martin and all
Yeah.
those guys, like
Yeah.
Nick Cronin and
Kenny
these,
Satterfield, they were
yeah,
Lance Stevenson.
yeah, like they were for real.
Yeah.
So basketball is always, even when I was there my first few years, they were really good. Or they were good every year I was there. Actually, they've went downhill lately, but
Yeah.
it's really a basketball school. So with football and everything, we got Coach Luke Fickle my sophomore year, and it just went uphill from there. Obviously, they went to the college football playoff a couple years ago, but it was a great place to play. I love Cincinnati to this day, like just the city in general. It's a great
Yeah.
school, and obviously met some great people. But I really like Southwest Ohio in general. It's a cool place.
Yeah. Shout out Ohio, man.
Yeah,
That's
shout out
super dope.
Ohio.
Yeah.
Didn't even know where it was.
That's
I had
crazy.
no idea, bro.
How was your first winter in Ohio? Coming
Yeah,
from
my first.
California.
Yeah, it's tough. My mom, she always jokes about it because when I came back, and now it's normal because I'm in the Midwest like often, but in California, like the sun's out all the time. So, and I get tan like decently easy, but I came back and she thought I was like super sick because I was just like pale. And I'm like, Mom, I don't see the sun for I don't see the sun for the 6 months of the year. And then Wisconsin's even worse. Like
Yeah.
Cincinnati is the Midwest, but Green Bay is the real
Is
Midwest.
way up there. Yeah,
And
that's
it's like, dude, you drive into the facility pitch black, and then you leave, and it gets dark at like 4:30, and it's like you literally you don't see the sun except for practice when you got a helmet on. So now I get super pasty in the winters, but the first winter, my mom was like, "Are you okay? Like everything all right out there?" I'm like, yeah, it's just the Midwest, so it's different.
That's
that
crazy.
that's crazy. Yeah. When I was a kid, I used to go to Cincinnati to go to the Six Flags. My family's from Springfield. So
Oh, for real? I didn't know
yeah.
that.
Yeah. So we used to
Cool.
drive, it's like 2 hour drive. I used to go with my cousin.
It's in Mason, isn't it?
I mean, I don't know exactly now. It's been a long time since
Yeah,
I went, but like it's out that way towards Cincy.
yeah. I think it's in
Yeah.
Mason.
Yeah. It was out of the Knott's Berry Farm. I can't remember. The Knott's Berry's the other way, isn't
It's a
it?
good spot.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I just need to go back to Cincinnati to get some Skyline chili. You guys ever heard of it?
No.
I've heard of it.
Bro,
I've heard of it.
Skyline
have?
chili, man.
Yeah, shout out to Ant. He's from Cleveland, so he's talked about the chili.
It's fire, bro. Cheese
I'm not
conies.
familiar with Skyline Chili.
It's pretty much just a famous chili spot, and I'll put you on later if you go to Cincinnati. But it's fire. But it's
I'll
only
let
in
you know.
Cincinnati.
I'll let you know when I'm out there.
If you ever find your way out there.
Oh, that's dope. So kind of shifting gears here, Joe. We've obviously talked a little bit about your past and being playing football at a high level at a young age, playing basketball at a high level at a young age. Because they talk about now specialization and all this stuff with kids and youth sports and all that, and the kids getting burned out, kids getting hurt, especially a sport like football where like the injuries are high. What do you think? Like, what do you think about your experience playing playing multiple sports, and how much do you think that helped you, like for football, like not giving up basketball early?
I highly recommend kids of any age to play as many sports as you can, as long as you can. That's what I always say. Like I was speaking to a bunch of kids at a camp at William Jessup the other day, and just they asked the same thing. I'm like, man, play as many sports as you can for as long as you're able to, because when you get the one taken away, like not taken away, obviously I had fun playing basketball my whole life and then decided to choose football, but like playing basketball in high school is some of like my fondest memories in high school, because it was so fun, and the people obviously that were on my team obviously made it a lot better, and the success we had. But I love the game of basketball, and even if I didn't love it, it helped me in football just with conditioning, lateral agility, stuff like that. So you can always find yourself getting better at other sports, at one sport, while you're playing a different sport, even if it's not your main sport, if that makes sense. So I always recommend kids to play as many sports as possible, especially if you play something like baseball or if that's your main sport, then I would definitely recommend playing something else just to stay a little bit more active and stuff like that. But I love playing dual sports, and I tried baseball my freshman year and was bad at it, so I quit. But besides that, I love playing both in high school.
You wish you would have been on the golf team now too, huh? Now that you're an old man like
Bro,
me.
I think we all do.
literally, I'm like, I knew the guys on the golf team would always talk to them about golf. I'm like, why didn't I just join? It might have been. Is it during basketball season in high school? I don't even know.
No, it's in the spring.
It's
Isn't
in
it?
the spring, yeah. It's in
Yeah,
the
dude,
spring.
you had a bunch of free
You had
time.
7-on-7 and all that.
Yeah, Coach Taylor, he's different, but yeah, I don't know if you, I don't know. If
Yeah, I actually got to play 9 today, Coach. I don't know if I can be out there.
bro.
Yeah,
bro,
I'm trying to tell Richardson that you were gonna go to the driving range.
bro. In high school, it was because it was me, Lucas Hendricks, and then Parker Boone. Was there one other? Oh, Cody.
And Cody
Who,
played basketball,
and
yeah.
Cody, yeah. So we all played basketball and football, and like on basketball, you got dressed up in the ties and stuff on game day, and we would go up to Coach Taylor, like, because we had 6-period football every day. And we'd go up to Coach Taylor and be like, Coach, Coach Wall told us we got to get ready for the game. Like, we can't, do 7-on-7. And he'd be like, take those ties off. You're doing 7-on-7. you're doing 6-period football. We'd be like, all right, we're doing 6-period football before like a big Friday night game.
Yeah.
Somebody. It's hilarious.
Yeah,
they were getting fights all the time, bro. It's so funny.
Oh man, I know. I remember those days. It'd be so funny because when we'd be doing summer skills training in the morning, it'd be like, yeah, you guys would come in and they would, like, the other dudes, the basketball players would like just be waking up, and Joe and them were like, oh yeah, we already got a 6:30 a.m. lift. Like, we're good to go at 8:30.
Yeah, bro. Those are some good times. It's
Yeah.
funny to look. It's funny to look back on, because now as an adult, it's like we really like those two guys were really mad at each other just because like we took our ties off and threw the football around. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's like the world to us in 16. We're like, yes, sir. Like, we'll take our ties off, you know. But now it's just kind of like it's funny to look back on and be like, wow, like that. And then that's the cool stuff. Like, and to be able to do it with those 4 guys,
Yeah.
and we were good at both sports. That's the coolest
Yeah.
thing. Like, I mean, thanks to obviously Jordan and Colin and Alec and all those dudes. But yeah, it was fun, man.
Those practices were battles, man. Those are some of the best times. Those are real
High
battles.
school football, going back to what you're saying, is so just different. Even at Oak Ridge, it was crazy what they were doing.
Yeah, it's different. It's like when coaches try to make you play one sport, it's tough to get to the other one sometimes.
Yeah. I think it's also though too is like it's like the parents, right? The parents are trying to keep up with the other parents, right? Like it's definitely more like that now with social media, but parents will like see a kid get offered for football and they'll tell their kid like, "Oh, you need to stop practicing basketball, or you need to focus more on football, or get a throwing coach, or get this or get that." And I mean, I run the same thing. Like I have some kids. I have one kid specifically that's like he's gonna play in the NFL, and it's like he still comes to basketball training every week, and I'm just like, bro,
Exactly.
I love you for it. Like that's awesome, but like you're gonna be catching
Exactly.
passes on a Sunday and not too long, so like just keep enjoying this part, man, because once this stuff's done, it's done.
Well, that's
Yeah,
what I
like
was gonna
I
say.
legit.
My fault.
Go ahead.
I was just
No,
gonna
you
say,
go.
like it keeps like the love of competing like fresh. Like
Yeah,
if you get to the point like you're talking about where you get caught up in like, oh, who got an offer here or who's playing minutes here, like in this sport versus this sport from this coach, it's like it takes the love of like just wanting to compete. Doesn't matter what sport it is. So like if you do have both sports going on, and then like in Joe's case, like obviously elite at both sports, like you're it's just the love of competing at the end of the day, and whatever sport you end up taking, that's just going to elevate your game that much more.
100%. And I miss playing. You see all these dudes in the NFL like playing pickup basketball, and I personally won't do that because I don't think it's worth the risk. But I want to so bad. You don't
so
understand how
you see this
bad.
guy Miles Garrett out there just running around.
Oh, he's up
What?
there dunking.
And it's usually dudes that have like a little more security with their contracts. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But like I can't. I always joke around with guys like I can't wait till. Obviously, I love football, love my career. Like I want to play as long as I can. But whenever it's over, bro, I'm gonna be in like all the softball leagues, all the basketball leagues,
Bro's gonna
like
be up there
all the
with
golf
Will at
leagues.
Lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, for real. I'll be up there with like balling out, trying to at least. I probably don't have it
Dropping
anymore.
35 and 12.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yo,
that's hilarious.
and that's the cool thing too is like when you play multiple sports like that, like for you especially, and kind of like what Luke's saying, it just makes you that much more competitive because every environment you're in is ultra competitive. Like there's never a football team you've been on that wasn't ultra competitive, and there wasn't a basketball. Like even I remember your middle. That's when I first started training. Like your Folsom Force team was crazy competitive. Like
Yeah,
you just like so everything you're doing is just like building on itself to allow you to like not be like nervous when you get to the moment of like playing the NFL, playing at Cincinnati, things like that, where it's like you're catching passes, like Aaron Rodgers is throwing you the ball. Like that doesn't stress me out.
yeah, for sure, 100%. Got to keep it
Yeah.
alive.
That's
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that, Jared, because I wanted to ask.
That
Like,
was a segue. I knew
mean,
you were going. I was teeing it up
there's
for you.
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah.
There's a handful of people that have gotten to say they can be in the huddle with
Good luck, Jay.
with an Aaron Rodgers type name, like arguably one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. So like, what is that like? That's got to be crazy.
Yeah, it's surreal for sure, especially now that he's not our quarterback anymore. To look back, you know, I had 2 years with him because I didn't play most of my rookie year because the knee. But yeah, you gotta like pinch yourself sometimes, you know. But he's also just like a good dude, no matter like how people portray him. Portray him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the same.
Yeah, all the same. But he's just a good person, but obviously like one of the best throwers of the football ever. So sometimes you just sit back and like I got a bunch of clips on my phone of like just practice film of him just like throwing crazy passes that are not normal, no
That's so
lookers.
sick.
like no lookers, all this different type of stuff, and it becomes normal, but it's not. So to be able to share the field with them and catch some balls from them is pretty cool, and super grateful for all those moments. But yeah, on to the next now.
Yeah. Did you guys talk about like being from Northern California and stuff like that? Did you guys talk about that, or not really?
Yeah, we talked about it. Yeah, because
Yeah.
he knew I was from Sacramento and obviously he's from Chico and stuff. So
Yeah.
we talked about a few things. Because like we would always go to Chico with the Force because of Penrose, like
Yeah.
because he went to
Yeah,
Chico State
right.
and loved Chico. That was like
Yeah.
that was like our trip for the year, like
Yeah,
going to
that was like his
Chico.
vacation. He'd be like,
That
"I'm gonna
was
go get the boys together." And
yeah,
down, yeah,
go to the Bear and drink beer. Pretty much is
yeah,
all he wanted to do. But yeah, we talked about it. It's a cool little connection. We actually
yeah.
had like 3 or 4 guys at one point from NorCal, so
Oh,
it
sick.
was it was cool at one point to be able to talk about all that with each other, know the same places, stuff like that. So
Yeah, because that's a crazy thing to all end up in the middle of nowhere in Wisconsin from Northern
yeah,
California.
yeah,
Like I haven't been
because
as far as Green Bay, but I've been to Oshkosh, bro, where the G League team
oh
is. Yeah, that is
yeah,
a different place.
no, that's the middle of nowhere. And then Bakhtiari, our left tackle, is from he went to Sarah,
Oh,
and
really?
the Sarah we played them in the
Yeah,
playoffs that year in
yeah,
basketball, and then
yeah.
they played each other in football last year. So we were
Wow,
like,
that's
yeah,
cool.
we were talking about the game and stuff. So small world.
Nice.
That is actually. I remember. I feel like I either was at the Sarah game
The Sarah
or
game was their toughest game.
yeah, I
Actually,
remember it. I
they
think I
like that was
remember.
their
Craziest
toughest game.
craziest comeback, bro. We were down
Yeah,
like I don't remember exactly, but I
it
think it
was a
was like
lot.
7. It was
Yeah,
like 7 points with like 40 some seconds or a minute or
yeah,
something like that. Jordan went crazy.
I was
yeah.
gonna say I remember Ford had a crazy fourth quarter.
Yeah, it was like reject the screen, layup, steal, layup, foul,
Yeah,
layup, and one. Like it was like he just got it back in like 12 seconds.
it's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Good times.
Um as far as like since we're talking about it, being around people like Aaron Rodgers or even other guys on the team that like have won Super Bowls or people have like reached the pinnacle of your sport. What do you think is one of the things that you have really taken from them as advice? You know, it doesn't have to be Rodgers; it could be anybody, but like someone that has reached like because we all talk about like I want to win a championship, and obviously I know you want to win a championship, and it's like what's one piece of advice or one gem that you feel like you could take from what they talked about getting to that point?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, because like personally, because we had Aaron Rodgers and then also Mercedes Lewis, who's about to set the record for numbers a year played as a tight end. Like he's been in my
Mm.
room for my first 3 years. He's going to like year 18. So like
Dang,
to have
that's crazy.
two like 17, 18-year-old veterans on the same team and Mason Crosby, who's like 16-year kicker, 17-year kicker, is pretty special.
Right.
I think the biggest thing I took from them is just gratitude. And Aaron talked about it all the time. So did Mercedes. But being able to play that long, they have like another level of gratitude for the game. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm.
being able to play a game for a career that long is insane. And the
Mm.
fact that we get to go do it every single day, like I have to remind myself that all the time because I'm about to leave for camp on Sunday, and we start next week. Like I told you guys earlier, and there's like no questions about it. Like camp is trash. Like it's not fun. You're there for like you're around your guys and you're playing football, but you're there from 6 to 8, like 12 plus hours every day. But you have to sit back and have a certain sense of gratitude for what you do each and every day, and be able to look back and thank God. And I try to do all those things as much as I can because it's a stressful business and it's a stressful, lifestyle that we have. But it's a very short amount of time, and for those guys, it's longer because of the ability they have. But each and every day, I try to remind myself that no matter what type of game I'm having, practice I'm having, day I'm having, it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, I'm just grateful and blessed to be in this position that I'm in. So I always try to remind myself that, and that's something that they talked about a lot.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's a gem right there. That's a gem
Yeah.
right there. Oh, yeah, Jared, you got anything else? 'Cause I got a big question to ask. I got a huge question. to
No,
ask.
go ahead. I'll let you. I don't know where you're going with this, but
Yeah,
I'll let
so
you like.
so Joe, we had early in the pod saga, one of our first episodes, we had a football player on, and there was a debate about a certain
This is
player,
good.
and
This is really good.
yeah,
Really good.
this is necessary. And
Oh.
you being a tight end in the NFL, I really wanted to get your opinion on this. What position does Travis Kelce play?
Tight end.
Thank you. That's and this is why you get paid the big bucks. This is why you're here.
I have a rebuttal,
Yeah, we
but I'll
can-
let you
we
kind
can
of
move
just
on
say
now.
your whole piece. No,
We can move on now.
Joe, just okay.
What are you
answer
gonna
this.
say? Receiver?
No, does he line up like a receiver more than he lines up a tight end or not? If you tell me he lines up like a tight end more than he does a receiver, then I will shut my mouth.
Well, I would say he does because lining up as a tight end isn't just being in a 3-point stance. It's also lining up in a receiver stance. If you're talking about a receiver stance, but you can be in a receiver
I'm
stance
not that
lined up as
deep
a
into it.
tight
I don't know.
end.
That's
You know
why
what
we're
I'm talking
talking to
about?
you. Yeah, that's why we're
Yeah.
talking to you.
Like you can be in a receiver stance lined up in a tight end spot, but he lines up all over the field. But he's a tight end, but he also has more freedom than anybody in the league. So he's the
He's
GOAT.
out there.
And he's from Cincinnati, so go Bearcats.
All right.
All right. Well, I'm glad you settled that.
The professional has spoken. I'm not going to say anything else.
I'm glad because there was we
I'm
did
proud of you, Jared. I'm really
we
proud
did
of you for that one.
we did.
Yeah,
a
well, I wasn't
starting
going to
five.
let Luke tell me. You ever
Oh, this
seen
is
Luke
great.
on a football field?
It
They tried to
was a
recruit me
good
to play.
debate. It was a good debate we had. I'm glad it's over now.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, Joe says tight end. I'm going with Joe.
Have you ever seen me on a football
Stick to
field?
the court.
Hey, just know that I'm pressing up. I got 5 yards. That's all.
Bro,
I'm
I got recruited to play kicker in high school. I'm not even
I'm
talking
cooking
about
you.
that. Like,
I'm
like
cooking
that.
you in the slot, Jared. I'm cooking you in the slot.
yeah. All right,
oh my
Tom.
God. No, I'm glad we
Julian.
settled that.
All right, yeah.
I'm really glad we settled
It's a
that.
good
glad,
debate.
Yeah, it got a little heated. Jared thought I was getting personal when I told him that because we did starting 5 wide receivers, and he was like, "I really got some size at the 4. I got Travis Kelce." I was like, "It's a tight end, man. Like, what are we talking about?"
I tried to make a heady play, and Luke was being a hater. This is what happened.
Well, and then and now I'm
Yeah, you was
remembering
trying
again.
to think outside the box.
Yeah.
Well, and then he got mad because I had Debo Samuel in mind. He's like, he's a running back. I said, no, he's a wide receiver. Like, he's not a running back.
Yeah.
That led the team in rushing touchdowns.
Okay, so
Yeah. Yeah, Debo is different. Y'all are picking the most like elusive positions. Like those dudes do like 2 of the most specific things or non-specific things in the league. Like they just do their own thing a lot.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Good. We settled it. Jared.
All right. Yeah. No,
Appreciate you for-
I'm like I said, if Joe says tight end, then he's the
Yeah,
expert. So
That's a final say.
right.
Do we have anything else, or is it starting 5 time?
I feel like it's starting 5 time. I'm excited for the starting 5.
I'm definitely excited as well. So this week, we talked about Joe, how he was an elite high school basketball player as well as football player, obviously. So we have starting 5 dual sport athletes. Now, when I proposed this one, I said it might take some research. If you do it off the top of your head, that's cool too. But I think it didn't have to be a professional level. It could be at the college level, whatever you want to go with. But we usually kick it to the guest. If you want to go first, Joe. If not, I'm sure one of us would love to go first as well. So it's up to you.
Yeah, no, I gotta think about it. You
Okay.
guys go first.
Yeah. We can let
Jared,
Luke go for. Huh?
Oh, you want me to go?
I can
Yeah.
go if you want me to go, but
No, I like that you gave me the
yeah,
the
I
floor
know
here.
Luke is excited. He's probably got like some real
I like
sleepers
mine a
on
lot.
his squad.
I like
yeah.
mine a lot, and I really want to go because I'm afraid Jared might have a couple of mine. So,
That's
at
how
the
about
point
you
guard,
go.
at the point guard, I would. This is a personal pick for me. A point guard is someone who can facilitate the ball, and that's what this guy does. He played football. He played baseball in college. This is my favorite player in the NFL. Give me Jameis Winston at the point guard. I had to have him in the starting 5.
At the point guard.
This guy's
Point guard
ridiculous.
today.
This guy's
He's-
ridiculous.
He's a point
He's
guard
not
today.
a point guard. He is not a point guard. That is absurd.
Bro.
But yeah, I had to have him in the starting 5. At my shooting guard, this is a showstopper. This guy's gonna fill the stands. Everyone wants to come to see him. He's one of the greatest at what he does. I think most people would say he's the greatest at what he does. This guy's a snowboarder and a skateboarder. Give me Shaun White as my shooting guard.
Wow. Okay, good
I
thinking
think
that.
that's
Yeah.
one.
I
That's a
wasn't
good one.
expecting that. Yeah, good
I
pick.
think that's one that people
I didn't even
wouldn't.
know that counted.
Yeah.
I think
It's,
That's a good
it's,
one.
you can
it's
throw a
bro-
flag, but
yeah,
I
you
feel like
can
it's
throw
two
flags,
different
Joe.
things.
If you feel like it's some bullshit,
No.
then you can throw a
No,
flag.
that's a good one. That's two different things for sure.
There we go. There we
All
go. Yeah, Shaun White at the 2. At the 3, this is one that I feel like I might be stealing from Jared. He wasn't a two-sport athlete until recently. He was an elite scorer in the league, and then he picked up golf. Give me J.R. Smith. as my
I was about
small
to put
forward.
J.R. Smith on it.
Yeah,
You
I
can't have
think-
repeats too, Joe. Like it's not
Yeah,
like
you
if
can-
you, if you like your 5 and if you give a better explanation, like Luke's explanation was kind of weak. So like if you had a
Okay.
better explanation and put him in a better spot, like
Yeah.
I don't remember him playing the 3. I mean, he played the 2.
Yeah, that was more just because I feel like Shaun White's more of a 2 as opposed to him, so they're just going to complement each other on the wing.
All right, man. Who you got at power forward?
At power forward? I got as Jared would say, I got some more size as a power forward. That's why I have a tight end here. So I have Tony Gonzalez. He played basketball as well as football. And I think a lot of people would consider Tony G to be one of the greatest tight ends of all time. So got to have him in the starting 5. And then at my center, this is not only size, but this is a lot of character at the center. And I feel like in order for a basketball team to be successful today, their center has to be okay with taking the attention from the defense. I got Dwayne The Rock Johnson as my center.
That's a great pick.
Wrestler
That's an
and
awesome
football player.
I love that pick.
Again,
Wow.
I just think that was a really good one.
That's
And
a good
Jared, I
pick.
thought you
I-
might have had him.
Nah,
to be honest.
he came to tryouts, but
Right.
I feel like he wasn't in the right condition for how my team wants to play.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. But yeah, that's what I got. I really like my 5. I like it a lot.
Before we go to Jared, can we go back to Luke putting Jameis Winston at point guard? That guy
That's
literally
actually
leads the league in turnovers. What do you want from a point guard, dude? His
Bro,
assist
he got-
to turnover ratio is negative.
I want
Oh,
confidence. I
Tommy,
want
this is
confidence out
awesome.
of my point guard. I want confidence.
Hey, he does get
Confidence.
steals though. He does get
Confidence,
steals.
but he's throwing the ball
He-
away.
He does get steals. He gets it back on the defensive end.
Side
His
note,
hoop
we had
mixtape. His
a-
hoop mixtape would be nice too.
We had conversation about Jameis Winston today, one of our group chats with Luke, and
That was
sends the
today.
video. Yeah, that was this morning. Sends the video of Jameis Winston.
Okay.
End of the game, they're losing. Jameis Winston scrambles out left and starts walking forward across the line of scrimmage. He still thinks he's up behind the line of scrimmage trying to pass the ball, and it's like Jameis Winston
It's
is the
crafty.
only guy that's ever been. He goes, it's the only guy that's ever been sacked for 10 yards. Our guy Cam Sheldon goes, he lost the game, Luke. And Luke goes, but he won the battle. What
Won
does
the
that even
battle.
mean, Luke? What does that
This is-
even mean?
This is just craziness.
Bro,
He's got heart. He's got heart.
Jameis Winston got eye surgery since he threw all those picks, bro. So he's a different animal
It's different.
nowadays.
Exactly. See,
He
it's
got-
like when
he got
Steph put
LASIK.
contacts in.
Joe,
He's-
don't encourage this behavior, bro. This
No,
guy
this is
has a
good.
weird obsession with Jameis Winston.
He's my favorite
got
player. It's
LASIK.
not a weird obsession. It's like everyone has a favorite player. That's fine.
Yeah, that's like saying Alex Len is my favorite NBA player.
Shout out to Alex Len, Sacramento Kings legend.
Legend.
All right, I'm going, bro. So at point guard, he just crowned himself the champ. He's already been a champ in his own sport. Give me Steph, the point guard.
Yeah,
Guy's
that's a good
scratch
one.
golfer, greatest shooter of all time. At the shooting guard, this was tough. I didn't know where I wanted to go here, but I think I'm going to take a road less traveled. Give me Charlie Ward, shooting guard. Won the Heisman, played in the NBA, high level guard, high level vision. Small forward. I feel like being the historian of this podcast, I kind of had to do it. So this guy played every sport under the sun. He's widely considered the greatest multi-sport athlete of all time. Give me Jim Thorpe,
Yeah, that's nice.
small forward. Small
Isn't
forward.
the cornerback award, right? Cornerback.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got played track and field, all that stuff. Now, this one is no one's probably expecting this one, but I feel like I had to throw it in there. Joe, you might have battled with him some, but at power forward, he had a chance to play both sports in college, didn't end up having to play one of them because he got drafted in the first round of the other one. So give me Matt Manning, power forward.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Matt Manning.
Mm.
So baseball, he
good
had the
local talent.
offer to go to LMU.
Where's he right now?
The Tigers. He was just part of
Is
that
he-
squad that threw like the no-hitter.
Oh, is he
Yeah.
on? I didn't even know that. That's dope.
Yeah. He's like starting as one of their rotation starters.
Yeah.
He was nice at hoop too. Like he was really
I
good
remember.
at basketball. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. That's
He
dope.
was really good. Now, this is my favorite. This guy's really this is my Jokic. This guy is gonna quarterback my team. He's gonna be the emotional leader, physical leader, enforcer. And he's just got all around game, man. At center, give me Julius Peppers.
Mm.
Play it
That's a
was
good
Tar
one.
Heel.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, high level.
All right, man. That's
Yeah.
I have no problems. I actually like your list.
Yeah, I like it.
Joe, you
I
want to
can
go?
go.
You good? Okay.
Yeah, I'm
I was
good.
good. Okay.
Go ahead, Joe.
All right, starting point guard. One of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL now, I think was picked like top 10 in the. Sorry, it's like a dark. There we go.
Yeah,
I'm gonna turn
you're good.
around for you guys. Was like a top 10 pick, I think, to the Oakland A's. Kyler Murray.
Nice pick.
Yep,
I
Kyler
like that
Murray.
Pick. Good pick.
Nice point guard size. He's short.
Yeah.
Knows
Great
how to,
COD player.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
had no
that
idea.
might be
They
three
put in
sport
his
athlete.
contract.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. EA Sports. We're throwing that in there. At what's next? Shooting guard. One of the best cornerbacks of all time, Deion Sanders, went
Yeah,
from
there we go.
playing for the Atlanta Falcons to playing for the Atlanta Braves in the same exact day. And
That's
I forget,
insane, actually.
I forget what the order was, but one team got mad. I think it was the Braves. But
Yeah.
to play two sports in the same exact day at the professional
That's
level
actually
is
insane. I did not know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, you gotta
insane.
watch the 30 for 30 on it. It's nuts.
Yeah, I think that's where I saw it. My what's next?
Small forward.
Small
Man.
forward.
You're really out of
it's
tune
been
with
a
the
tough.
game, Joe.
Yeah, bro. I
Joe-
don't. I never even called it that. I call it 1 through 5, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say at my 3. At my 3.
There you go.
There we go. Yeah,
Is,
that's it. Yeah.
yeah. At my 3 is this is also next to Jim Thorpe as one of the best of all time in Bo Jackson.
No,
Obviously
great pick.
was
Great
before my time, but have one of the best running backs ever and balled out on the baseball field. Yeah, baseball field. All right, for my 4, somebody you guys probably don't know, but Cincinnati alumni, played for Mick Cronin's Sweet 16 team and was on the football team at the University of Cincinnati that lost to Tim Tebow's Florida Gators in the Orange Bowl, and also played, I don't know how many years, but defensive end for the Eagles, Connor Barwin. Throwing that
Wow.
one out there.
Yeah,
Yeah, Connor Barwin.
See, that's
Yeah.
real historian knowledge right there.
That's
Historian. That one was off the dome too. I just brought that one up, and I'm pretty proud of myself for that one.
Yeah, you should be. That's high level.
Go Bearcats. And then for my number 5, staying in the tight end position group, best tight end to ever do it. Travis might pass him, but Tony Gonzalez, great basketball player as well. So that's my starting 5.
Yeah,
that's a great list.
That's
man.
a great
That's
5.
really
Yeah,
list. It's a great list.
5. Tom, what you got, man? We lose Tom.
All right,
there's
man.
Tom.
Now I'm here. All right, at the one, I've got a real speedster, good point guard here for us. I've got Kenny Lofton.
Nice.
Nice pick.
At the 2, I was originally gonna go with Steph because that's on brand for my game. But Jared took him, so I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna go with more speed. We're gonna have a lot of speed on this team. I'm gonna go Jackie Robinson at the 2.
Nice pick.
At the 3, I could not believe nobody had picked it until Josiah. I can't switch that one. He's the greatest dual sport athlete of all time. I'm going Bo Jackson for sure. At the 3. At the 4, I've got a guy who played in the NBA and the MLB. We need some size, 6'6", old timer, David. I struggle with pronouncing his last name. David DeBuscher, I believe it is.
Oh yeah.
He played for the White Sox, pitcher for the White Sox, and played for the Knicks.
Yeah. The next one
championship. At the 5, this guy's a tank. I mean, he's on brand for what I do with my centers. Just an absolute bowling ball down there. And he's agile because he was a tackle in the NFL. One of the greatest, I believe. Maybe not. I could be wrong. Just say, I've got Jonathan Ogden. Not only was he a tackle for the Baltimore Ravens Super Bowl champion, he was a shot putter at UCLA.
Wow.
Nice.
That's good research.
I've got Jonathan Ogden, 6'9", 330, holding it down in the paint.
Pretty sure Julius Peppers probably got about 7 or 9 sacks off of Jonathan Ogden.
Jonathan Ogden is throwing him around in the paint.
All right, man.
You obviously have not played Madden 2007.
I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Well,
Jonathan Ogden gets some great Madden cards every year. So,
Yeah.
that's what I think. He's a beast.
Shot put. That's legendary.
Shot put, yeah.
All right, Tom, who's your walk-on?
My walk-on, I didn't even know this guy was a dual sport athlete. I definitely did some research on this one. I've got Ed Reed. He played multiple sports like growing
Oh,
up.
wow.
I can't remember if he ran track in college or not, but he said he played basketball too. Hall of Fame safety. Ed Reed.
Like
good
it.
pick. It's a good take.
Yeah. Joe, go ahead. Whoever your walk-on is.
Forgot about the walk-on segment.
You want to come? We can circle back. If you want to think about it?
Yeah, circle back.
I'll go.
Yeah.
All right. So my walk-on, you would think it's not odd, but it is an odd combination. Was a really solid role player in the NBA. Never really took to the superstar status, but what he did excel at, he didn't even play past college, and then it's volleyball. Give me Chase Budinger. Played in the NBA, played at University of Arizona, but was an All-American volleyball player.
I could see
That's
that
such
he
a
would
good
be an
pick.
all-American volleyball player.
6'7", bounce,
He
crazy
dunks like
bounce.
a volleyball player.
Yeah,
I was watching a YouTube video of him playing spike ball the other day against some professional spike ballers.
Why did you come? Yeah, explain that.
No, don't ask me how it happened. It just kind of popped up, and I was interested because it was Chase Budinger.
So
he was playing spike ball against some professional spike ballers, and he was with his boy, a professional volleyball player, and they almost beat him.
Tommy, I just want to let you know that as far as it goes in our listeners' ears, they know that in your free time you watch Chase Budinger playing spike ball and Daryl Dawkins dunk highlights. That's a crazy thing for you to be watching in your free time.
Chocolate Thunder had some of the greatest highlight tapes, and I told you I had to thank my dad for showing me that one. I wouldn't have found Chocolate Thunder's highlights without my dad showing me that.
You're funny. You're
special,
funny, man.
Special. Chase Budinger, though. Watch that video. I'll send you to the group chat later. It's a good video.
Yeah,
they battle.
All right, Luke.
So my walk-on pick, he's one of the greatest to do it at his position. And so you wouldn't think of him as a walk-on, but I have him as a walk-on because one, I didn't know that he was a multi-sport athlete, and two, because he lettered in 4 sports in college, which is pretty impressive for how great of a football player he was. I have Jim Brown, heavily regarded as one of the greatest running backs of all time, and he lettered in football, lacrosse, basketball, and track. So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's high level. Great athlete.
Yeah.
Cleveland's own.
Exactly. Yeah. They Browns fans love him.
Yeah, they love him.
Him and Bernie Kosar, baby.
And Deshaun Watson.
All right, are you ready now? You got
Joe, you got it.
Yeah, I'm good.
Let's hear it.
I don't know if this counts. I don't know how to say the sports that he played. I don't know where you land, or she, or both. Is a triathlete, decathlete, whatever it is, bro. Bruce Jenner back in the day. I don't know. That's a lot of sport. That's a lot of sports to be good at. Like you have to be good at what? How many sports is it? I don't even know.
Well, you did
10?
the decathlon is 10, yeah.
Yeah, decathlon. 10 sports to be good at and win a gold medal. One of the best to ever do it. Bruce Jenner, now known as Caitlyn Jenner, as we all know.
Yeah. That's high level. That's as good as the Brittany Griner pick for whom would I have date my sister.
That is such a good pick. That is such a good pick.
That was great. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, great pick, Joe. I'm glad we gave you that extra 2 minutes to come up with that gem.
Yeah.
That was great. nice little hot route right there.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow, look at Jared.
Wow.
Wow.
Hot route to the house.
All right, Jared, man, what you got, bro?
All right, Joe. Hey, man, I know you're on the links today. We can talk about golf a lot. I'm really excited. Not now, but after the season's over, we will get on the golf course. We'll love it.
Yes.
Luke is a very good golfer. We're not going to hide it. Luke is very good.
Thanks, man.
I'd love to see it.
Yeah. So you're probably not going to be able to golf much in Green Bay during the season, just based on the weather. But, I'm sure you have a garage or inside. And, there's one thing, I think about is that if I ever hang up my hoop shoes or Joe hangs up his cleats, we know with 50 chips a night, that second career going to be oh so sweet.
Sweet and sweet? Is that what you were going
Yeah,
for?
that's what we're going for.
I don't know. I don't know if that would land.
Yeah, I was testing it out. What'd you think? No?
Not your best work.
Yeah, it's all right.
I think the
5.
message was there, though.
5 out of 10.
I liked
Yeah.
it. I didn't really catch it, but I
Yeah.
liked it.
Joe, that's usually, that's the idea.
He
I
gets
was
paid
just
to be
getting-
a tight end in the NFL, and he said he didn't really catch it, Jared. That means it wasn't that good. Like,
Oh, that was, hey, I didn't catch that. That was nice. Okay, got it.
No, you're good, Jared. It's all right. It's all right.
I know. Hey, you know me. I keep battling.
No, you do.
This
we-
is the
we love that.
walk-on pod for a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Great episode, though. Great episode,
Yeah.
man.
Joe, thank you so much, man. We really appreciate your time and we really appreciate your story. I've always been a huge fan of yours. So I'm super excited for you this year. Hope that it's another year for you to just keep building and take off.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you, boys. It was fun chatting.
Definitely.
It's great to have you on, man. Great to have you on. Appreciate you. Good luck this next year.
Yes, sir.
With all that being said, these are your favorite walk-ons, and we're walking out.